Good afternoon, and buenos Aires. It's later. You are 4 o'clock, I think. Yeah, in Italy. You're very welcome to the show this afternoon. Pardon me. We are doing these shows because a lot of people is at home and not able to go out in isolation, and I feel that it's hi Linda. I feel that times like this gives us an opportunity to become more reflective on ourselves, to become more proactive in looking at what it is that we can do for ourselves. And that's important because very often when we're at work, what we're actually doing is we're running around thinking of everyone, meeting other people's needs and not meeting our needs. So for me, I think it was quite a learning experience to have to slow down and make it something that was going to be productive and not just an element of saying that I'm in isolation and this I can do nothing. So today our work will be, yes, you'll be working very nicely. We're going to look at intuition, and we're going to look at it just to see what it is. But one of the things I said about working, what I'd like you to do is to become active in it. Really, when we decided to put on these extra shows, being aware that with people who, hi Tony, all the way from California, how are you? Being active in the show, it leaves you that you're doing something for yourself. You're not just joining in and listening and going off and having a break for a cup of tea or something. You're listening. You're actively taking possession of your energy. You're not wasting it. You're not spreading it out all over the place. And that's what I feel is of value, because we need to generate our energy more and more now to be able to, I suppose, face what's going on at the moment. It's for people that is in isolation, it's difficult to be able to think beyond what's happening now. And then we hear so much. Hi Julie. We're able to hear all of the different things that's happening all over the world. And I think at times that can bring our energies down. So now is the time that we'll actually look and think of ourselves, to go into the energy that we are, the essence of that beautiful soul energy. In the early part of the session, what we will do is just talk about intuition. And everyone knows they have intuition. And it's used in so many different ways that sometimes we don't even be aware that is what's happening. When something happens and all of a sudden you become aware, I knew that was going to happen. Your energy has an ability to move out beyond you, beyond your physical being. Hi Aisling. Look, I'm Catherine. We're building up here. Our energy has the ability to move outwards beyond our physical element of ourselves. That energy then in turn gives us the ability to be able to get information from our surroundings. Looking at intuition, it very much ties into your psychic ability, ties in as well to you developing your mediumistic ability. It's kind of what I could describe it as steps along the way. And this is why if you spend a little time getting to know you, getting to know the essence of your energy, which is your soul energy, this helps you then to look at things in a very different way. So if you start thinking about someone who may be the other side of the world, but it could be next door, just not direct in view. It's possible that what you're actually feeling is your intuition. Your intuition can be saying, maybe contact that person. Maybe get to the point where you're able, not in this present environment, but that you're able to call to them. And what can be happening is that that person is extending their energy field, looking for contact, looking for communication at a level that they're not even aware. Hi Sabrina and Mary, lovely to see you all here this afternoon. It's a nice afternoon here in Ireland, and I hope it's as nice where you are. And I'm sure with Tony in California, it's nice, as it always is there. But let us take a moment and just stop and be aware of what you're feeling at this present minute, first of all. That's the first part of becoming aware, not so much developing, but becoming aware of your energy and aware of your intuition. So just stop for a moment and never mind what's going on around you, but just be aware that you have a spirit energy, the essence of who you really are. So I'll give you a moment to do that. Just allow that energy to become energized. Our energy has the capacity to work way beyond what we think we can. It can reach out and it can go in so many different dimensions, but I'm not going to go into that at this moment in time. Maybe down the line, we'll see. When we get our mind clear of the hustle and the bustle that we're in the middle of, that's when we can actually begin to see things more clearly. If you work with your intuition, you'll be working in an area where your logic might be saying the opposite of what you're actually seeing, because your intuition doesn't have the logic element of you. It says what the soul is feeling, and we often call that gut feeling that's there. That's what is the first part of you that actually feels through your energy. And we have what we call the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is based on around just under the rib cage, and that gives us that is an energy zone there. The energies from our upper chakras and from our lower chakras goes into a nice, I'm trying to think of the word, and I know some people will have it. It's a vortex, that's the word I'm looking for. A vortex of energy that's energized by everything around us. So when we do that, when we actually energize that vortex of energy, that solar plexus chakra, we actually have the resources to do so many things and be able to reach out. We talk about distant healing. We talk about being able to help someone just by the power of thought. It's by using these energies that we're all part of. It's by using them that we're actually able to do these things. And people find it maybe difficult to realise that we can actually send healing out into the universe, and that that sends that vibration out there without us actually having to go and see the person. Hi, Helena, Evelyn, lovely to see you here, and I hope you enjoy the next 3/4 of an hour or thereabouts. We when, as I said to you about questions, there should be a little window at the bottom where you're able to write a question, just to allow yourself to expand your energy, not to feel that you have to stay still. I want you to be interactive in this, because that's the reason we're actually doing these shows. It's to help the time that doesn't seem just so long when you're doing something. When you're actually sitting inactive, it can just feel quite I suppose, passive and non-productive would be the easiest way of saying it. When to look at the intuition aspect, when you have your conscious mind, then you have your subconscious mind. The power of this intuitive thought comes literally between those two dimensions of your energy. It's that it happens that fast that you're blown away by something a thought comes into your head. The thought can be mainly about someone or something that you need to do or not do. Either way, when that happens, it's like a bolt of lightning, and you literally can feel it from that area of the solar plexus under the rib cage. And this is why we can feel sick, we can feel a nausea, we can feel like butterflies in the tummy. All of those feelings can be part of all the intuition that's going on at the present time. We know with families, you're aware when families are in trouble or there's something that's just not right. That's your intuition that's actually kicking in very, very quickly. I'm going to move back. I have one of the incense sticks burning and it's throwing smoke up in front of me. The house is not on fire, so no worries. So it's letting that happen. Now, I said to you earlier about it's the aspect of your energy. Hi, Shauna, how are you? Lovely to see you. So many back joining me. And that's lovely, because we have a number of things. I hope I remember by the end. We have a number of events happening at the moment to deal with this, I suppose, inertia, the time where everything has kind of come to a standstill. When I'm standing here at this present time, one of the things that I find is my energy lifts into a different vibration. That's, I suppose, the easiest way of saying it. It's one of the reasons I was directed to actually stand today rather than sit. And as I said, I just go with, hi Amy, long time no see, but we'll make up for that. What we'll do is we actually, I have a team that works with me, team of guides and helpers that works with me. And as I said earlier, we actually, there's a theme always set out, but the theme develops because I hand it over. Any event I do, I always hand it over to my team, because that's how I work. And anyone then that knows me knows that I work better on my feet than I do when I'm sitting, because I don't like working when I'm sitting, and that's just my thing. There's nothing definitive in that anyone else should do. But I find standing up, my energy, I can take that energy from the ground up, and that's where I can utilize that. Hi Gina, lovely to see you. Or to see you there. I know my X-ray vision is not developed just that far yet. When, as I said, when I was directed to actually do it this way, what I felt was that there was a lady who wanted to join us. And I'm not going into mediumship, but I feel there's an element of a lady that's called Eileen is very active in this. And the person that's here that knows an Eileen in the spirit world will actually be very happy to see that she's joining, because there's a reason that she's coming in right now, because there's things happening for the person that would actually make them feel better to know that she's supporting them. There's difficulties at the moment, but they're being helped. Hi, Gina. Yeah. One of the things that when that intuition can kick in at the levels, as I say, it's like it's a step towards from your looking at your intuition, then you go into the psychic, and then you go into the communication with spirit world. And some, I know, will not like the idea of taking it that route, but that's your choice. There's nothing to say you have to. The aspects of intuition that I would ask you to look at is to I don't know if you've ever done any dowsing or worked in that field, where your intuition is the power that's there behind it. It's that energy that you heighten. So when you find that there's something happening, maybe you lose something, maybe you just want to get an answer, yes or no, to something, and that can be very, very challenging at times, because you're betwixt and between, should I or shouldn't I? So it's always nice to kind of step outside the conscious mind and be able to get an objective. Hello, Natalia. Lovely to see you, and you're in your evening time now. Yeah, it's something that you can step into and get an answer without having to, we'll say, wait and let it sort itself out through the logic brain. So with dowsing, I know, and there's people here that knows that I could open up a shop with different pendulums. You can use something that's so simplistic to work with, and it gives you the answer of yes or no, and that's as simple as you need to be. It doesn't need to be, you're not going to get an elaborate answer, you're just going to get an answer of yes or no. That will help you to put the power into something, the power that you want to actually ignite in here, to ignite within your spirit. And if you ignite that energy, it helps along the way to develop further and further. If you I'll ask you a question, and I know the answer that some of you will give. Will you write just a simple yes or no if you've done any development in mediumship or psychic work? And as I say, I know a few has that's joined, but just an answer yes or no, because then it'll allow me to work and see how it goes. So that just a simple yes or no. Have you done development in mediumship? Amy, yes. Helena, sorry. Ashley, yes, yeah. And we know there's just a few here I don't know. And Gina, yeah. They're all definites I know from past experience. When I'll just continue on and we'll see who else will answer. When you're finding that there's times that comes within your development, Tony, yes, our college days in Stansted, when you come to find that answer within yourself, you can come across a block at times that literally gives you the sense of finding it difficult to be able to trust yourself and trust your energy. Hi Alicia, how are you? And Catherine too, yes. we're just asking, Alicia, we're just asking the question if you've done work in developing psychic mediumship in the metaphysical. Yeah, Shauna, I don't know whether I'd put a no there. But when we come across the block is coming from here, not from our spirit ability. When you will, I often find that the likes of a pendulum can actually start off like in a different realm, on a different plane. Because if you get something, okay, that's fine, Alicia. We're just talking about how the pendulum can help with the intuition. The pendulum will give you the answer through your intuition. It's the avenue that it's able to work with. So the answer is not coming from your subconscious or your conscious mind. It's literally, it's out there. But the pendulum can read what it is that is the right journey for you. Because if you think of your energy in total, you're made up of loads and loads of energy. Let's face it, that's the reality. The energy may be dormant, what we think in terms of doing this type of work. It may be dormant for a number of years. But you wouldn't be where you are now if you weren't interested, and if there wasn't something there that was saying, I'm interested, I want to do something, I want to explore something. This is where our energy can take us, and you use whatever means you have. Some people use dice, some people use runes, which is the symbols that's written on wood or stone. It's symbols that's on it. So people use different means, but what I'd like to say to you is look around and see what it is you're drawn to. It means that they will give, that aspect will give you answers. I know a lady who, when she dowses, she just uses her thumb and fingers, and she gets the answers through whatever happened. I suppose in a sense it's like kinesiology, but for her it's dowsing. That's how she works it. So, get into, to go and explore this area of intuition, while you'll always have these times where you get this surge of energy and an answer, but you want to be able to manage it, because if you're in need of getting answers, or you're in need of helping, this is where something like having a dowsing, like having a reading with dice or whatever, they will help. It will help you along the way. The other aspect of using your intuition is to sit down and take a pen and paper and just allow yourself to go have a free will, because in that time when you sit down, to get a pen and paper and allow it to do what it wants to do, because this is where you will have, you're not developing it into psychic art or anything, you just want to play with it and give yourself time and space. We know that we're under guidance 95% of the time, and the other 5% we choose to ignore more often than not. It's something that you will see. You will see the essence of yourself coming out when, hello Olivia, how are you? You'll see the essence of who you are coming out on that piece of paper. You can, I've done a class once where it was just getting a piece of paper and a pencil and just dotting it, just literally dotting the pencil all over the place. And that helped the person to begin to see what she could do and she was able to do, at the end of the day, there was a reading came out of that piece of paper by someone else that was very, very accurate. So for her, it started her off again, because she had a block for a long time for reasons that was difficult for her to overcome, but she mastered it. And it just took that little bit of encouragement and an outside channel, I suppose, would be the easiest way of saying it. Pardon me. Let me see, is there any questions? I think not yet. Alicia, just, time, you're here for a reason. It interests you. So my thing would be, if you weren't interested, you wouldn't even entertain the idea of joining. Let it be a group, or let it be and if it's a poster that you see, you wouldn't be interested in it. So once you start recognizing in yourself that because you're expressing an interest in something, that leads you to the next step. So it's not a difficult road to get onto. It's very easy, and when you get there, you will have loads of help coming from your ancestors, from people that you actually knew when they were here on the earth plane, and they will help you, because that's where we actually join together. That is what happens. Use a key or cotton, Helena, anything that has a weight on it and a thread. I didn't take one in because, as I say, this goes where my team goes, and I don't. Everyone that knows me knows I kind of wander off in all directions, and they're giving out to me here. I wander off because the energy is created by you. It's not my show. This is why I say to you about participating. The show is about you, and what the energy that comes in when we're together, that's what is needed to follow. Because you can lift up a book, you can lift up or watch a TV program, but you have to be able to get into it and give the energy to it to be able to feel that this is happening for me. So that's why I said about you participating and go deeper into, like, there's a good few mediums on here that I know, and we all know that there's times where we actually have to actively do something to, I suppose, more or less kick ass. We have to get to a point at times where, and I think it's natural, because our team of guides and helpers, they keep trying to show us the signposts, but we go along and we tend to ignore them. But if you sit with that minute that we did earlier, you sit and you come to realise that there's more to me than this physical being, and allow them to communicate with you. It's amazing to have the possibility to do it here, just sitting at home. Yeah, I know. You don't have to go out in the traffic. Lovely. And Paul, lovely to see you. Long time no see again. You just don't have to, it's the good thing about it, you're able to do this at home. And given time, we'll see what we're going to do, because one of the big things about mediumship and psychic awareness, I feel at times, I would run workshops and I would charge for them, but I always think I'd never want to see going into teaching at a level that it was going to be, the cost would be too much for a person to be able to afford to go into development. And that's something I'd feel very strongly about, because it's a natural ability. No one can teach you. No one can teach you this. And Fran, how are you? What someone does that takes a group, they facilitate you become more aware of yourself, because it is personal development. That's what it really is. You're getting to know the spirit aspect of you and how to work with your team. And it's really nothing more than actually spending that time in development. So look, to look and see about what there is, and we'll see what happens. If there's enough people interested, we can actually work with it. Gaetano is very good at facilitating our development and our progress to look forward into time to come, because the world today is becoming far more open to people being proactive, I think, in what we call broadly the metaphysical. It doesn't matter what it is within that field of energy. It's to get ourselves more, I suppose, more aware of the different aspects, because not everyone is going to do the same type of work. We all have different strengths and different weaknesses, and what the weaknesses are there because maybe it's not the way to go. We might need to have go a different direction. It doesn't say that it's not for us. It just says that we're maybe another way that would work better for us. So let ourselves do it. Give ourselves permission to do that, and that will help us to get the best out of ourselves. So let's see what happens over the next few months, and we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. We have at the moment now, we have a half hour, near enough a half hour left, and I'll go if there's any questions now at this point, because I'll move on into the relaxation at about 22, so if you have any questions, now is the time to ask them, because after the relaxation, yeah, and it was lovely, Gina, and hopefully we'll be back doing that again, maybe, because moving house and the facility will be a lot easier to work with. So yeah, it was lovely that time, and the group that was here at the time. Yeah, when we get that energy field, like I will say, I grew up. And this was the last thing I was ever thinking of doing. I did many other things. I always say I had so many past lives in this one. But you are drawn to it. There's a reason that you're here. That reason is very much, it's a soul journey that you're taking on. And if you think of it, that there's a light in front of you, and in the soul journey, you keep going towards the light. And the more you become, the more you break away. Good, Shauna, right? Yeah, so you know how to work the pendulum. But as Helena said, if people hasn't got pendulums, a ball of cotton, anything at all will actually give you answers. Just all you need to do before doing it is that it's for the greater good. That's the first thing, that you ask, any questions you ask, it's for the greater good. The second thing, hi Monica, sisterly love. The second thing that you do is you find a quiet place where you're not interrupted, and go into the stillness and allow that stillness to be your avenue to use and getting the right answers from the pendulum. And I would always, when I'd use a pendulum, I'd always ask 3 times, so that I'd find out if it was just consistent enough, and that would help me to make up my mind. But so where was I? I keep, as I say, I keep wandering all over the place, and to don't know where I was. But anyway, we'll go on the, we'll go, what did I say? Yeah. What did I say earlier that I know? I thought there was a question up there. Yeah, okay. you have I was talking about the light and the soul journey, and going towards the light. You know, we often talk about when someone is passing, and the people that has had a near-death experience where they see the light. But take that back into our daily life, and every time you experience something that gives you, that stirs that energy in you, that stirs that soul energy in you, that is literally lighting, that light gets brighter, because as you do that, you get more in touch with your wisdom. That inner wisdom that is there, it's only a matter of tapping into it. And as you walk that journey towards the light, you will find that there's more and more and more, I suppose, signposts given to you. The wisdom starts to become your soul's journey, because you become more aware of who you are and the journey that you're on in the present time. So always be aware that every aspect of life gives you an opportunity to learn, and when you learn, that is your soul food, very much your soul food. And it's, you know, I feel very strongly about what it is we do with our energy. It's about creating the foundation for wherever we're meant to be. And there's nothing ever wasted, even at times when we are being put through the mill. When we come through it, we actually become aware of what it was that we learned through the experience. Okay. How are you getting on with your pendulum, Shauna? We'll come to I suppose, hello Marie, and Alicia, it's so true, okay? Yeah, it's, the journey is up and down, and it's never smooth, but then I don't think you ever learn anything if something's smooth. You're not challenged, because you have to be challenged to actually feel that, you know, life is taking a different path, and you've that whole energy that you become more aware of your team, your background team, the team that works with you to guide you. And I always say my team, God love them, they have a job and a half, because I would be very difficult to get an influence in and make me aware of it. So they've had their work cut out over the years. But it is, it's a power energy that's very, very loving, forgiving, and very trustworthy, because they actually trust you to the last, and you will succeed. You will succeed in what it is. Don't close the doors on them, because I think if we close the doors on them, we're writing our own script to find that there's nothing of giving us a purpose to live. I'm sorry that it's like the lighting is gone down, because the sun moves round to the back of the house as the afternoon goes on, so it's a little bit dark. I didn't think it was going to get this dark on the screen, but anyway, let's spend a little time now just we're going to go into the quiet, and we're going to just see what how you can relax, get somewhere that's nice and comfortable, that you're able to sit, and I'll just put on this. You ever find when you want something that it doesn't always want to do what you want it to do? No. Because it was set earlier, but because I put it on pause, it just decided it wasn't going to stay with me. So what I'll ask you to do is just to find a nice quiet place, but not lying on a bed. Seeing through the eyes. Yeah. Hi, Giselle. I will be back to you. Lovely. Okay. Marie, I'm going to be moving in close to you, so we'll get talking. Now what we're going to do is just find yourself in a nice quiet place. Support it upright, because we don't want you falling asleep. That's the last thing we want you to do. So make yourself comfortable. Feet firmly on the ground. And if, like me, you could be a bit short in the legs, just to get something underneath your feet, a cushion to support them. But it's just that the energy you're going to work with is about releasing any tension down into Mother Earth. Hi Lisa, how are you? Lovely to see you here. This is a relaxation. What we're doing now is just going through a relaxation session and to just become aware of all aspects of your being, mind, body and spirit. Okay. If someone can just, Marie, can you let me know if the music sound is okay, because I don't want it to be too overpowering. If you just answer yes or no, and I can work from there, because this is a new stand I have. Take it that we're okay. Now just sit in that nice quiet space, and for a moment just keep your eyes open. Just look around your surroundings and just take them in. Lovely. Thanks, Marie. Just be aware of your surroundings. And now, just allow your eyelids just to close and stay just in that nice centered position. Be aware of your breathing, keeping it nice and relaxed. Just breathe in to 3 and out to 4. In to 3 and out to 4. Just allowing every breath that you take to just be into a nice, comfortable, peaceful place. We'll begin by focusing on your feet, allowing yourself to be aware of all the muscles in your feet up to your ankles. Just be aware of any tension that you can be holding around your toes. Just focus for a few moments on that area and just allow them to be nice and relaxed. And we now move up into the lower legs, moving up with awareness. And just as you breathe in, just to be in the awareness of any tension that you can feel along the back of your legs. And with the inward breath, be aware of any tension, and with the outward breath, just release and relax. Move up now into the thighs, and again the same process with the inward breath. Relax with the outward breath. Up now into the body, and first of all we begin by becoming aware of the muscles in the pelvic area, the area where we can feel a lot of tension and we can hold on to it. So just with your inward breath, just visualize your breath going right down pit of your stomach, and with the outward breath, release and relax. Up into the abdomen, and with each breath just allow your abdomen to expand, and as you release your breath, just allow any tension that you feel to go with it. Releasing and relaxing. Move up into the chest area, being aware of how we can hold on to tension that can restrict our breathing. So with the inward breath, just allow your lungs to expand, and with the outward breath, release any tension to feel. Releasing and relaxing. Focus now on the hands and arms. And these are areas that we can hold tension when we feel anger or frustration. So now it's safe to allow that tension to leave. muscles react when we're feeling loaded with energy that we feel that we're not fit to cope. So now it's time to allow that energy just to change and relax. Breathing in with awareness and releasing and letting go. Now with your next breath, we're going to focus on the muscles of your face and head. These muscles we use every day to hide our true feelings, the mask that we put on. So this is a time where it's safe to allow that mask to relax. So with the inward breath, just visualize the muscles of your face and around your head, that they're becoming much lighter, and that any tension that you feel in them just leaves with the outward breath. Releasing and relaxing. Just be aware of your whole body. Just the energy that it is you, that spirit energy. Just being at ease and one with your mind and your body. Just allowing it give you the sense of freedom. So as you breathe in now, just breathe in a beautiful light that's all colours. Just allow it to go wherever you feel is right. That light can be green, it can be blue, pink, just the colour that you need. And as you breathe that light in, ask for healing. Ask your team of helpers for healing of the mind, of your body, and strength for your spirit. Now, just allow that energy to be at one with all aspects of you. Now gradually come back into awareness of your body, aware of your toes. Move them and follow that movement up through your legs and back up into your body. In your own stretch. Allow your energy to be energized again. To move myself to get my energy back, even to talk. My friend Gaetano, he's here. He joined us during the meditation or relaxation. One of the things I feel with meditation, and as you know me from past shows, I will do meditation, but I felt there was a need to go back into what the core of what's needed for to do meditation, because if our bodies are tense and we feel a sense of restriction, that actually doesn't help us in the process of it doesn't I have something that doesn't like to do what I want it to do. It takes away from a little time from the meditation, and it's better to actually become aware, first of all, of your body. Become aware of when it's tense and when you need to feel where that tension is. And it's only through practice that you actually become aware of it. And believe me, I know, because I would be very good at denying that I would have tension, and then it would build up. So it's a process like doing meditation. It's a process of getting to know when you're relaxing. It's a process of getting to know that and feeling that we're able to manage it and to release that tension. I'd like to thank you all for joining me this afternoon, and as I say, we're going to have these shows, and there are many shows now here on this channel for working with the English speaking. And as I say, Gaetano, he's joined us there during the last 10 minutes or so, and he has worked very hard to develop Bridges of Light to the point where it's now gaining an English speaking population. So it's excellent, because there is something for everyone. And tomorrow, this time last year, we were actually starting up. I was over in Italy, and it was the start of Bridges of Light, and look to where it has come in a year. There's 11,000 members now, which is some feat to you're welcome, Alicia. It was lovely to have you joining us. So we have tomorrow afternoon, we have a conference tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. There's 3 of us with Gaetano, and we will have, it's a nice discussion, a nice talk about different aspects about what's happening at the present time in the world, going into the fourth dimension. And this is where I think we're all moving forward into different times, and no more than we see what's happening now, how we're being boomeranged into that. So now I'll be back on Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and like that it will be the second half. We will work with the relaxation and meditation, maybe at the end, towards the end of it. Is very welcome. It was an absolute pleasure. But there's the lady who came earlier on, and she's an absolute, she's beautiful energy. So whoever Eileen is here for, she really wants to send healing out, because that's what's needed at this present moment in time. Around the world, there is no escaping. So I'll say good evening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Okay, thank you, and bless you, and be safe.